decisions that you can make rashly. And so I'm so glad that you guys are here. As people are coming in, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Kristen Feemster. I'm a licensed therapist and certified personal trainer, fitness coach, all the things. And I am in this group talking about these conversations because these are common barriers and things that I talk about with my clients, in whether that be on the therapy side of things or on the coaching side of things. So if you are someone that's new to this group but are just looking for a way to go about building your routine and your lifestyle in a sustainable way, then you're in the right place. That's what we do here. No quick fixes, no diet culture, gimmicks. We are all about the full lifestyle change. And so that's what we'll be talking about today. So I'm going to dive right in. Feel free to drop any questions or any commentary in the chat. I really love for this to be a little bit more conversational and not necessarily me just talking to a screen, because let's be honest, I do that all day and I want to interact with people a little bit more, and I'm sure you all do too. And so what we're going to do for today, I will put this out there that if there's people that are joining from Zoom, I'm streaming live from my Facebook group, and I'm not able to have the video on for the Facebook and for the Zoom at the same time. So if you're not able to see me but can hear me, just know that this replay with my bright smiling face will be sent out to you via email tomorrow if you're signed up for the email list, and it'll be still posted in the Facebook group. So I just want to put that out there as a disclaimer that I wasn't able to troubleshoot enough to figure out how to stream it both at the same time. But here we are with all the great information that you guys want anyway. And so this week 3, we are talking about, in general, we're talking about habit change and consistency. And this week we're talking about creating the right plan for you. So we've talked about the contemplation stage of change, where you're debating, trying to figure out what's what. Do you want to change? Do you not? Are you ready to give up the old ways that you sabotage yourself or not? The next week we talked about preparation, which is the third stage of change, in getting ready for what we're going to talk about this week, which is the action stage of change. So that's where we are today, creating the right plan for you. This is so important because even as you prepare to change, your action plan is going to make or break your success. That's obvious, right? Like, of course it's going to. But so many times we kind of copy and paste a plan. You know, we see a friend, I know how it is. We see a friend who's had much success with the keto diet, and then we see a friend who's had much success with the Weight Watchers, and then we've seen a friend who she just joined Orange Theory and she just loves it, and then we see a friend who's doing Burn Boot Camp, and then we get on Instagram and we see somebody working with this trainer, and then we see someone else with the waist trainer, and we see someone else that did the Beyonce detox diet, you know, and we always think, oh wow, I'm going to do that. Well, okay, then I'm going to try that. That's going to work for me. That's going to work for me. And really, it's all about finding the right plan for you. Okay. So I'm going to give you 3 things. That's our theme. Three tips each week on, excuse me, on how to make sure that the plan that you have is the right one for you. And first and foremost, out of all the reasons, and there's more than 3, but I'm just going to give you 3. The first one is knowing what your why is. Okay? If your foundation for your plan is built on something faulty, it's probably not going to last that long. For example, now there's nothing wrong with having short-term goals. There's nothing wrong with, you know, having occasions that you want to, you know, show up as your best self for. But if your habits are shifting around a vacation deadline, or a wedding dress you got to fit into, a bridesmaid's dress you got to fit into, or your class reunion where you want to make sure that you look like you just graduated high school yesterday, anything like that, y'all, that's a foundation, but it's not a sustainable foundation. Okay, so that can be a reason, but you have to realize that that is not going to sustain you beyond that deadline. And so really getting clear on your why for whatever your plan is really going to give you that extra gas and fuel to keep pushing, because it's not going to be easy. And so if your why is shaky, if your why is kind of fleeting, then probably more than likely your outcome and the sustainability of that plan is going to be as well. And so really think about, even those of you that are joining in that are really on the cusp of really taking action here very soon. Be clear, reflect right now and just think about, what's my why? Like, what's the point? What am I doing this for? And if I can identify that, is it for a fleeting reason? Is it for a prideful reason? Is it for a surface level, shallow reason? Or is there a deep rooted why? And so for me with my lifestyle, my why, and I'll give you an example so you guys can kind of build on this. My why is generational shifts. That's a powerful why. That shows up with me every day, every month, every time I have to reset on something, because my why is to change some of the generational patterns within my family lineage. And everybody's got their stuff. This is no shot to anybody in my family, or if this applies to you within your why to your family. It just means that we're always challenged with showing up better with more tools, with more awareness than the generations that came before us. And so at the end of the day, the lifestyle that I live, an active lifestyle, a sober lifestyle, a lifestyle of getting into therapy and doing the work that I need to do, a lifestyle of boundaries, is all around me showing up and shifting and being a change agent, for my family. So that is a why. I'm not going to say it's bulletproof, but it's pretty strong, right? That's a pretty deep why. You need to have that when you start your action plan. Because if you don't, it's going to ebb and flow and blow with the wind, and obstacles are going to come up, and you're going to really need to dig deep. And if it was a shallow why to begin with, it's going to be hard to dig deeper on that why. Okay. The second thing is, when you're thinking about what's the right plan for you, y'all, I cannot stress enough how being realistic is essential. We can't be in la la land. We can't be on Instagram. Okay. I know that's the main place, because I do it too. I go straight to Instagram. What are people doing? Let me save a couple of posts. Let me comment. Let me follow a couple of people that are doing what I want to do. And you have to realize that things we see on social media, what do we always say about them? They are not realistic. It's not the real world. We're getting the highlight reel of what people want you to see. So if you're following someone who is an adamant fitness and gym goer person, you're always going to see them in the gym. That's the theme of their page. Is that realistic for you to then make your plan that I'm going to get up 6 days a week in the morning and go to the gym just like that person? Because let's be honest, and I'll be honest with you a little behind the scenes, people are not in the gym when they say they're in the gym. Okay. And I'll put myself on Front Street. I film on my Instagram page. I film workout tips and workout ideas for people in batches. So I do go to the gym regularly, but when I post the videos, it's not necessarily, dang, she's back in the gym again, she's back in the gym. That is content for you guys. And so you have to realize that about whoever you're following, is that what they're doing and what they're presenting may not be realistic. So you need to be very realistic with what's the time commitment that you can make. What are the barriers that may be, other obligations that are kind of going to make it hard to prioritize. You need to figure out what's realistic based on everything that's on my plate. So for example, I work with a lot of teachers, and it's just really unrealistic with the way that things are going in the school system with the pandemic and just everything, that they would be able to commit to an hour workout every day after work. That's unrealistic for that demographic because of the stressors of their job, especially right now in the fall, transitioning into the school year. All right. So whatever that is for you, if you're a businesswoman and you're traveling all the time, it's going to be hard for you to be consistent with certain things. You may not be able to lift heavy, or you may not be able to meal prep the way that someone who's always at home would be, or attend a regular support meeting, or, there may be some things with your routine that you have to ebb and flow for your lifestyle. That's another example of being realistic. And the primary thing that I hope that you guys take away from this is that shooting high, it is understandable why we shoot high in the honeymoon phase when we're feeling good and motivated. Oh, I'm about to get my groove back and I'm about to be, that's a great energy. but you really got to pace yourself. So what's realistic is not what I can do for the first month 5 times a week, but what can I do for the first 6 months 3 times a week. That's a realistic, sustainable plan. So that's what I want you all to start thinking about. And this is really my approach to coaching my clients. We do have some short-term goals, but we even set those short-term goals with the long-term in mind. So anytime someone tells me I want to get up 5 days a week in the morning at 5 a.m., work out for an hour, come home, or go to work, come home, and then I want to do stretching in the afternoons and read in a book for 30 minutes, pray before I go to bed, and not eat after 9. And I'm like, that sounds good this week, but what do you think's gonna be? I mean, do you think you'll be doing that in February? And they're always like, ooh, now you didn't have to ask me about February. I wasn't really thinking about all that. And I was like, oh, I didn't think about, ooh, that's a long way away. That's kind of far, right? Because that plan is not sustainable. So if you knock that down to 3 times a week, and then maybe implementing one self-care activity after work, could you see yourself doing that in February? Okay, well now, yeah, I actually could see that still being the case. Could you see yourself doing that during the holidays? Okay, yeah, I could see myself doing that during the holidays. Does that make sense to you guys? Like, that you really need to make sure that it's realistic long term and not just off of emotion on the front end. All right, and the last thing that is honestly, every tip that I give, they're all important, but this one really is what takes action plan of any sort and any of the ways that you can take care of your well-being, from being something that you just do and you go through the motions of, to complete at some point, to an actual lifestyle change. And that is finding something that brings you joy. Okay, if you're waking up and committing to a plan that you hate from top to bottom, you either got to change your mindset around what that plan is, okay? Because sometimes we can have some faulty self-talk around, I hate doing this and I hate doing that. Well, maybe we could shift that a little bit. Or you got to go where the joy is, okay? And that could look a lot of different ways. Of course, in my lane of fitness, I always like to, in my coaching programs, I always like to take my clients through understanding what their fitness personality is. And so it's similar to personality type studies or quizzes that you can take called the Myers-Briggs. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, but anyway, there's a fitness one, and I really like to take my clients through that and help them understand what their fitness personality is, so that when we're developing a plan for you long term, it includes stuff that you enjoy. Okay, so my classic example is, I tend to, as an online coach, I tend to get a lot of introverts. Totally understand why we get a lot of introverts, all right? I get some extroverts sometimes, it depends, but a lot of my clients that are online are introverts. Now, why is that? You might be asking. Well, that's because more introverted types don't necessarily go for the big gym environment, the classes with 50 people. Now, I love that stuff. I love a good class with 50, 100 people in it, and we're all just in there. Like, I love that. I don't want to talk to them too much, but I like to be around them. Or going into this big gym with all this overwhelming equipment and things like that. It's very stimulating. And so if your personality type is more introverted, more low-key, don't like a whole lot of stimulation, then the online route or a smaller gym or a more intimate type of setting is probably going to work for you. So why do I say that? How many times have I had some of my more introverted clients say that they tried Burn Boot Camp, that they tried these, like a big gym that they didn't know where they were, and that was kind of just generally overstimulating for them, and then wondered why they didn't stick with it. Okay, well, did that bring you joy, or did you hate it the whole time? And they're like, yeah, I didn't really like it because I always wanted to find my own space, and there's just a lot going on and people talking, and I just wanted to tap into my music or read my book on my bike. Like, I didn't really want all of that, and so they were putting themselves in an environment that didn't spark joy for them, and so they were unsuccessful in those situations. Now, there was other stuff around accountability and discipline and all of that, but when it comes to what it actually looks like to carry out your plan, are the items on your plan helpful to you? Do you like them? Will you like them a year from now? That's an important thing to know about yourself. And so the fitness personality test can really kind of help with discerning that, and can also help you to enjoy the action plan that you're about to take part in and not necessarily dread it. Okay, so I don't necessarily need to put it off until January because I actually look forward to the Zumba class, or I actually look forward to trying new recipes and getting on Pinterest and, you know, trying new things and incorporating more of the nutrients that I need into my diet. If that's something that sparks joy for you, don't sign up for, if cooking and having, you know, different recipes works for you, don't sign up for a meal prep service where it's going to be the same thing. Maybe that's the shift, okay? Or don't cook the same thing for yourself thinking that that's a healthy way to do it, because you're going to get bored and then eventually you fall off from the plan, okay? So those are my three tips. I am open for any questions. I again apologize for the difference in the video for today with my people on Zoom. I'm going to hop over and see if there's any comments here, but please feel free to drop your comments if you have them, and then we can go from there. Give me 1 second. Look here. Okay, I think we're good. All right, so again, I don't see any questions right now, but I do want to share with you guys some very exciting news, which is that I just announced, what was that, on Tuesday, that I am relaunching my Be Well program starting in October. And so really felt led to do that just from the conversations that we've been having, the season that we're going into, and especially with the holidays coming up. Felt like it was a good time to offer up something to help you guys or whoever may be interested remain consistent or start something healthy for yourself between now and the end of the year. So we're coming up on the last quarter of the year. I don't know what your 2021 has looked like, but I'm still processing like 2019 and 2020 in a lot of different ways. And so I've really, even in my own ways, needed extra support and something tangible to work towards for this last quarter, you know, and mine may look different from yours, but the Be Well program is hopefully going to be that for some of you watching this video. And so the Be Well program, I'll just tell you in a nutshell, is an 8-week program that's a combination of self-improvement modules, which is along the topics that we've talked about around self-sabotage, self-care, coping skills, habit change, your fitness personality, getting your routine together, all of that broken down into different modules that you'll have access to each week. And in addition to that, you'll also have a workout program that's customized by me to tailor to your needs to follow, again, on any level that we set your goals for, okay? We decide, you and I will decide what is success for you over the next 8 weeks, and I will plug in a plan for you that will help you to reach what those goals are, okay? And so you get the self-improvement modules. It comes with assignments. It's almost like a workbook type of deal. So those of you that like a little journaling, like a little homework, you know, that's definitely something that has been transformative. It's actually what makes the difference between this program and other programs. You'll have a workout plan. We'll have regular accountability calls, probably bi-weekly is what we're going to start with, just with schedules and all, to have bi-weekly coaching calls and access to my private app for the community of previous Be Well alum, which those people who finished the Be Well program have the option to drop into my accountability coaching tier, where they can stay on and continue working towards things that weren't quite captured in that 8 weeks, because 8 weeks goes by fast. And so you'll be in with those women. We have group workouts on the weekends to kind of help us all stay accountable and just to really create that community. But most importantly, you'll have access to me for the accountability and encouragement you need to make whatever lifestyle you want to live happen and help it be sustainable. So that is the Be Well program. We are launching on Monday, which means that there will be a two-week enrollment period where you can apply for the program, set up a phone call if you have more questions, get your account set up, get your profile set up in the app, and be ready to start on Monday, October 4th in the program with the assignments, with your vision in mind, and really just create that lifestyle shift that you want to create. So September 20th, this coming Monday, the enrollment will begin. Anybody who registers for the wait list will be the first to receive the application, because there will be a limited group that I accept, just for the purpose of trying to make sure I take care of you guys and not to get overwhelmed with so many people. And so there will be a limited amount in the group, but those who join the wait list will get the first access to the application. We'll review it together, make sure you're a good fit for the program. We'll have 2 weeks to kind of prepare, because remember, you got to prepare for your transformation, right? So you're going to get 2 weeks to really think through what needs to happen between when you sign up and when the program begins to help you be successful. And then we will begin the program on October 4th and go through October and November, and we'll conclude the week of Thanksgiving. So I hope that you guys will give that some consideration. If you have questions about that, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd be glad to answer any questions. There is a link that I'll drop in the comment section after this that kind of gives a FAQ of some things that you might want to know in deciding if it's for you. But if it's not answered there, feel free to reach out to me and ask questions, and I will be talking about this on the next conversation as well, when we're going to talk about really making your lifestyle sustainable, what's necessary to not make this another go at it, but make this the final start. Okay, so that is all I have for today. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Tell a friend to tell a friend to hop on. I think the best way to know if a coaching program is for you is to have engaged with the coach in a way that's non-committal at first, right? So these lives are kind of a way to kind of gauge, like, hey, what's Kristen's approach? So if you or anybody else you know would be interested in that, I think this is a great opportunity for that. And if nothing else, a great opportunity for some great information that can help you on your journey. So, all right, y'all, that is all for me. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday night. I will see you here next week at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, be well, y'all.